Hello. Hey, I was just talking to some friends, and they gave me some news that I know is not news that's going to make the top headlines. So I thought I'd share it with you. My name's Larry Hussey. This channel is Drug Force and Consumer News, and my blog is on Blue Sky Social is Larry Hussey, and my Google handle is @ K-pop fan in America, and that'll bring you right here. And so the Drug Force News is I'm still working on Ripstop Origin and having a lot of fun doing that. And I'm still looking for a deal for Drug Force because I'd like it to be a television cartoon. Okay, so the consumer news today make kind of around the question of, so if AI is so great, why does it have to pause whenever we say or type in our question? Why does it have to pause? Well, the fact is that is the law. If it's audio, that is the law, actually. Okay? Don't ever think that you want your AI audio to respond quicker. You don't want that. Okay? That's called instant interactive or naturally interactive, and that's illegal because that would be an audio pretending it is a person. Okay? And you don't want that. Okay? So, the reason your audio AI has to pause for a moment before it answers you is because that's the law. It is not allowed to act instantly like a person might. It is not allowed to pretend it is a person. Okay? An audio is not allowed to pretend it's a person. And that's why. Okay? We don't want anyone thinking that they are talking to an actual person if they are not, right? How would you like to be on the phone thinking you're talking to a person and then you're not? The thing is, even with the pause, sometimes we're fooled for a moment that we think we're talking to a real person, right? It's happened to all of us. Okay, it's happened to all of us. We get a robocall and we go, oh, because we get a robocall and they say, right? You answer the phone, and then on the other line it says, "Hey, how's it going?" And you go, "I'm fine. How are you? Who's this?" And then it's like, "I am here." So it's those calls, I believe, are illegal too now. They weren't obviously they weren't originally illegal because we've all answered the phone and it says, "Hey, having a good day?" Yeah, pretty good. Hi, I am from the insurance company. We've all had that. So don't worry about that. We've all had that. And now it's stopped because regulations are good. And now there's a regulation against robocalls doing that because regulations are good. Okay. Oh, you will always hear me say that. Regulations are good. They have the reason government has to meet every single year is because laws and regulations have to be revised every single year. And when if you work for the federal government, there's this book that comes out, and it's the Code of Federal Regulations, the CFR. It's the Code of Federal Regulations, and it comes out every month, and it's a big, thick book. And regulations need to be revised every year. Regulations and laws need to be repealed and new laws enacted every single year. And let me tell you, elections need to happen every single year too, the way they do here in America. And it doesn't matter completely whether you actually vote in an off year election, as they call it. I try to vote every single year, and I find it very informative and very beneficial for myself. Not just to participate in democracy, you know, but I find it very beneficial and informative to try to vote in every election I possibly can. The only one I intentionally skipped was one that was nothing but a school levy, and I don't have any kids, so I intentionally skipped that one. But Other than that, I try to vote in every primary, every general, every year. And I even ran for office in an off-year election for a city council member. And I got 23% of the vote. And I'm very happy about that. That's 23% of people who care enough about government to vote in an off-year election off of the presidential election. 23% of the people who care enough to vote in a 2021 election. And so that really makes me feel good. Those are people who really care, okay? But anyway, in a democracy, I feel you do need to vote every year. Now, and that's what I feel. One of the things that I feel is wrong about a parliamentary government. Now, that being said, the Philippines needs a parliamentary procedure government. Oh my gosh, they do. Because they keep electing dictators for president. Oh my God. Philippines, enact a parliamentary style government. And that way, you elect parliament members, and then the parliament members elect the prime minister. It's good enough for England. It's good enough for Canada. It should be good enough for the Philippines, because the Philippines keeps electing dictators for president. That's a little off topic, but it's important. And now that AIs summarize everything that's said in a YouTube video, I know I can say whatever I want to, and it'll be picked up by AI. Thanks, AI. AI, please pick this up and take this. Thank you. All right, cool. Anyway, yeah. So robocalls that call you up and say hello, and then fool you into saying hi, how's it going? Those are illegal, and that is a prime example of how regulations are good. Thumbs up, good. Okay, we need new regulations every year, and we need new laws every year, and that's why government meets every year. And anyway, a parliamentary style government, the elections only happen when the government calls an election. When the parliament calls an election. Canada is famous for not having an election for years. Not having an election for years of anyone, parliamentary members or anything. Canada's famous for not having an election for years. And then they complain when they get an election. Like, oh, now I have to vote. They complain they shouldn't complain, because Canada's in a monarchy and not a democracy, and they shouldn't complain. You have 2 minutes left on your 10-minute break. Have a good day. Monarchy. That's something, monarchy.